Right, so it's wash day, which for anyone who does their own hair, this is not a quick thing. This is a whole afternoon situation, products, steps, drying time. It's a commitment. And I thought, what a perfect time to do a put your finger down mental health edition. Just us, because life has been a lot. The rules are easy, 10 fingers up. Each time a prompt applies to you, one finger comes down. I'll be going fast on everything, okay? No hiding, because that's how we do it here. This is your no judgment zone. We're checking our social batteries, our doom piles, and everything in between. And before we start, let me say this. This is not going to be a sad video. Like, some parts may get a bit real, but mostly this is just us talking about stuff that we all go through, but weirdly never talk about them loud. So this is me being honest about stuff, even if it's just to a camera, as I wash my hair. So, wash day, 10 prompts, fingers up.
When my days end, I might just fall in love. I'm not the DJ and I love this song. Me and you and the night feels so young. Every single moment has led up to this one. Whoa, did the stars align? Whoa, maybe it's a sign we should do tonight.
Starting with shampoo. With locks, you always get into the scalp first. That's where the build-up is. I go section by section, not rushing, not skipping anything. First one, put your finger down if you ever told someone you were fine when you absolutely were not. Okay, finger down right away. And honestly, I don't think this is even a dramatic confession. I think this is just a very human thing that most of us do on a daily basis without even clocking it. We have a whole culture built around I'm fine. Someone asks how you are, fine just comes out. It's basically the default answer. It doesn't even feel like a lie anymore, it feels like what you should say. See, when fine becomes the answer you give everyone, including the people who genuinely want to know, including the people that care, people who are genuinely concerned about your well being, that's when it becomes a bit of a problem, innit? Because now nobody actually knows if you're fine or not. Even the closest people to you don't know you're struggling because you've taught them not to push further. And now you've accidentally put yourself in a situation where you're carrying something really big all by yourself. I mean, I have been fine when I was very much not fine. I have said I'm fine while balancing tears. I've said I'm fine with a really, really heavy heart. And I think the first step to any of this is just noticing when you're doing it. Lately, I'm getting better at just saying, I'm not doing great today. It feels weird at first, and then it doesn't. And with time, it brings a lot of healing. Accepting that you're not fine and owning it, you shed off so much of a burden having to hide behind smiles when you're not okay. It helps you function better. Put your finger down if you've cancelled plans and told them you were busy, but you weren't busy. You just had no energy left. Ha! Finger down. And this one I feel like we need to talk about because there's a big difference between canceling because you're actually busy and canceling because you're depleted, and the idea of being a person in front of other people is just too much. Both are valid, but I think a lot of us say busy because it sounds more acceptable than having to say, sorry, I just don't have it today. Low energy is not about sleep. You know where you've slept fine but still feels like you're operating on 50%? That's something. That's your body and your brain telling you something. That's your heart saying, if you don't stop, I will. When your social battery drains out, listen to your body. Don't push too hard. I've started being honest on this one too. Not going into detail, just sorry, I'm not feeling great. Can we rearrange? Instead of inventing a reason. And 9 times out of 10, the other person completely gets it because they're either decent human beings or they've been here before and they can relate. 1 out of 10 times, the other person got offended. I lost the friendship, and that's absolutely fine. We move regardless. It's so sad that we're all out here just pretending that we are busy when sometimes we're just tired. Get that rest. You can always start again after recharging. There is no award for being a people pleaser. Get rest.
You say slow down. I don't like to move too fast. It drowns the truth with things that are not real, and I really want us to be real with love that lasts. In the past I messed up, gave too much.
Conditioner going in now. I apply this and I let it sit for a few minutes before I rinse it off because locks need that time to actually absorb the moisture. It softens everything and keeps the locks from drying out. Do not skip the conditioner. I cannot stress this enough. Don't skip it. Letting that sit, carrying on. Put your finger down if your mental health has affected your ability to work or your creativity or productivity, even when everything in your life was technically fine. Yeah, big one, finger down. You wake up, the sun is out, no crisis to point to, but your brain is filled with fog. It's like trying to drive with the parking brake on. You know exactly what you need to do, and you know there's no real reason you cannot do it, but you just can't. You end up staring at the screen for hours, feeling this mounting sense of guilt, and just a simple task now feels like you're climbing Everest. It's your nervous system sending an SOS even when the sea is calm. Again, I have learned to get through this when it happens. You have to stop fighting the fog and begin working with it. First, stop the I should be fine talk. It's like a laptop overheating for no reason. It just needs a minute. Acceptance lowers your heart rate and makes it easy to focus. Second, forget the 10-item to-do list. Pick one tiny thing and do it. Once you're done, you're allowed to stop. Getting 20% done is definitely better than doing 0% while beating yourself up. If you're stuck, move. Seriously. Go sit on a floor, go to a different location, go to a different chair, go for a walk or splash some freezing water on your face. It shocks your system out of that paralyzed loop. Lastly, be your own kind of boss. If a friend told you they were struggling like this, you'd tell them to take a breath and do what they can, right? Now trying saying this to yourself. Sometimes our brains just need to reboot, even if we've done nothing to crash the system.
Things that are not real, and I really want us to be real with love that lasts. In the past I messed up, gave too much. What is it with time? Why can't we unwind?
Put your finger down if you've compared how you're doing in life to someone else and felt worse for it. Yep, finger down. And I'm a little annoyed and embarrassed about it, but yes, finger down. Because you genuinely know that what you're seeing is not the full picture. You know that these people have bad days. You know that some context is missing. You know this is a curated version of their life. You know their life is not all put together, and your brain does the comparison anyway. The comparison thing is genuinely one of the most unhelpful things a human brain does. And social media has made it about 10 times worse because now you're not just comparing yourself to people that you know, you're comparing yourself to curated highlights from strangers at scale. I think the only honest thing to say about this one is it doesn't fully go away. And I also don't have a clear solution to this because I just think it takes practice. You just get better at catching it quicker. Like you notice you're doing it, you call yourself out, and you put the phone down. Or you just don't open the app first thing in the morning, which is genuinely the move. Just remember, nobody is posting their Wednesday afternoon when nothing is working out and they've been in the same position for 3 hours. Nobody's doing that, trust me. I know. Wow. Step 3. Rinsing the conditioner out now, properly, all the way through. You don't want the product sitting in locs because it will build up. Take your time with the rinse. Right, we are halfway through. How many fingers have you got left? Put your finger down if you ever felt guilty for struggling. Like you didn't have the right to feel the way you were feeling. Oh, this one, finger down. The guilt on top of a struggle is a special kind of awful. Because you're already not okay. You're already having a hard time. And then there's this second voice that goes, but why? What have I even got to be sad about? People have it so much worse than me. And that voice, I genuinely think it makes things harder. It doesn't motivate you, it's not helpful, it does not help you get up faster. It just adds weight to something that was already heavy. You know, mental health does not require a reason. You don't need a reason to be struggling. You don't even need to justify it to yourself. Feelings don't work like that. You can have an objectively fine life and still have days that are really hard. Both of those things can be true at the same time. You're allowed to be struggling even when everything is fine on paper. Full stop.
Should've let me speed it up. You could've had more of
Put your finger down if you had to hype yourself up just to do something you love and hated that you had to push. God, yes. Finger down. Because this one is disorienting. It's disorienting in a way that is hard to describe. The things that you love are supposed to feel good and easy, right? They're supposed to be the relief, not another thing on the list, not another burden. So when you have to negotiate with yourself just to do the thing that's usually the best part of your day, that's a sign that something's off. For me, it's making content, which is part of my job. When I'm in a good place, filming feels natural. It feels easy. I just want to do it right away. And then there are periods where even setting up the camera feels like so many steps. Sometimes I don't even know what version of me is going to show up on a given day. But here is what I learned. I have learned not to wait until I feel like it, because sometimes you won't feel like it for weeks. So now I just lower the bar instead. I mean, if you're a creator, you don't need to film the whole video. Film something small. film the UGC content. You don't need to do everything at once. Just do the version that's possible today, even if it's just the B-rolls. Give yourself the permission to do something small and count it. Celebrate it. Celebrate the small wins. I've said this before, I'll say it again. Done is better than perfect. The small version still counts. It counts a lot actually. Okay, scalp oil directly to the scalp, section by section, and I'm using this Capri oil. I will link it in my description if anyone wants to get it. It's really good for fighting dandruffs and relieving itchy, dry skin. This is the step a lot of people skip, and it's the step that makes the most difference. Healthy scalp, healthy locks. You cannot just focus on the length and ignore the roots. Put your finger down if you've ever pretended to be more okay than you were because you didn't want to be a burden. This one gets me every time. Finger down. I think this one hits hard, especially for people who are naturally the person others lean on, the listener, the problem solver. Because when you're the one who checks in, the one who holds things, the one who listens, it feels almost backwards to then be the person who needs something. It's like you've stepped out of your role. It almost feels wrong to need support because you're expected to be strong. You're expected to be the stable one. But that's not how it works. The people who love you, the real ones, they're not keeping a score. They're not thinking, oh, here she goes again. They want to know, they rather know. You're allowed to need things. You're allowed to say, actually, I'm not doing great. Can we talk? That is not weakness. That is honesty. And honesty is how you actually get support instead of just hoping somebody notices. People will expect you to be the strong one. No, do not be. And we all doing this to each other a bit, expecting everyone to be okay. We could all probably stop. Put your finger down if you've picked your phone and scrolled instead of doing that one thing you knew would actually make you feel better. Every single person watching this, just put your finger down. And so did I. Right now, probably, like, this is just the human condition at this point. The universal human experience. The phone is right there, and it requires absolutely nothing from you. And the thing that would make you feel better is the walk, the drink of water, the actual sleep, calling the person to talk about something sensible. But no, you choose to pick your phone and scroll through the internet. I don't have a fix for this one. I genuinely don't. Because on the odd days, I'll be scrolling for nothing in particular at 3 a.m., Googling the most ridiculous things at 1 a.m., and going to bed at 5 a.m. But I've started noticing when I'm doing it, like, oh, I've been scrolling for 20 minutes and I feel worse than I did 20 minutes ago. That noticing doesn't always change what I do, but sometimes it does. Not always, sometimes. And sometimes is enough. Spray going in now. I'm spraying all over, focusing on the locks. Don't be stingy with this one. Your locks are thirsty and they'll take whatever you give them. Put your finger down if something tiny has completely tipped you over the edge, and somewhere in the back of your mind you knew it wasn't about the tiny thing. Okay, yes. We've all cried about something that was not actually the thing we were crying about. Hmm, finger down. The thing that drops, the plans that change, the one thing that doesn't always work when everything else has been a lot. And suddenly you're in it. Full tears, full spiral over something that on any other day would not have registered. So let's picture this. Just a tiny drop of water in a glass. It doesn't spill over, right? And on this other hand, we have a nearly full glass of water. So add a tiny drop of water in it, it overflows, right? That's what I'm talking about. When that happens, there's a part of you that's watching yourself going, this isn't really about this, is it? It's not. It's about everything that you've been carrying and you haven't put it down yet. When that happens, I think it's useful information. That's your body and your brain telling you that you've been holding too much for too long. And maybe that's actually the moment to do something about it rather than wait for the next small thing to finish you off. When that happens, just know that it's time to finally address the things that you've put off, the things that you've pushed to the back of your subconscious. I am not so good at doing this. I have not figured it out very well, but I'm learning not to let things or emotions pile, but to deal with them as they happen. It kind of helps a lot, actually. Your feelings are your data. Listen to them. That's that's what I can say about this particular one. Do not pile emotions. Do not let unresolved things pile because the next small thing is gonna throw you off. Last step, MOUSSE. Scrunching it through, not smoothing. You want it in the locs, not on top of them. And we've got one more. Put your finger down if you've had a moment. Doesn't have to be big, where you've put yourself first and it actually helps. Finger down. And I want to end on this one because I think we spend a lot of time on the hard stuff that we forget to acknowledge the moments where we got it right. It doesn't have to be a big thing. It really doesn't. The day you canceled something because you needed that rest and you didn't feel guilty about it. The time you asked for help and let someone give it. The morning you've stayed in bed for an extra 20 minutes because you needed to. The day you booked a trip for yourself and didn't think twice. The day you took yourself out for a coffee. Anything. This wash day counts, by the way. Sitting here, taking time to do this properly, just talking about stuff. That counts. The small things always count more than we think they do. Okay, routine done. Locks washed, conditioned, oiled, sprayed, moussed, every step. No skipping. And that's the challenge done. 10 prompts. I don't know how many fingers you've got left, but I'm guessing it's not 10, and that's fine. That's the whole point, actually. Um, Not that we all put fingers down, but we are in this together more than we let on. See, we all carrying things. We all have weeks where fine is a lie. We all have mornings that are too hard. The moments where we just go quiet and hope nobody notices. All of us. Not just me, not just you. All of us. And I think if we talked about it a little more, not in a heavy way, but in a this is what's actually going on kind of way, things would be a lot easier for everyone. So that's what this was, a wash day and an honest conversation. And if you're having a hard one right now, I see you. You don't have to be okay. And you're not alone in it. That's not a failure. That's just being a person. You're in the messy middle of being human, and we are going to be alright. That's Put Your Finger Down Mental Health Edition. Wash Day fully complete right here on TMM. Drop your score in the comments, how many came down, and be honest. Nobody here is judging anyone. Subscribe if you've not already. The next episode, it's a good one.